So, welcome back to WTF Wednesday. The and let's get straight into today's topic. The lovely terrorist organization that took over the Oregon Federal Reserve building, whatever you want to call it, nature reserve area, has been expelled finally after 2 lovely months of occupation, and only one guy was killed. Everyone else gently went into the night and basically surrendered without any multiplication actions going to them. And now they'll probably go to jail for a couple of days or something, and then or a few weeks, and then they'll be back out to plan their next occupation of a building. And you're probably not gonna get too much media thing heard about them. They're gonna probably just disappear into the world of domestic terrorists. But we're not gonna get to hear them being called domestic terrorists or terrorists at all. There'll be a group of misunderstood militia patriots who just we'll probably get to hear them as patriots and great men of justice who wanted to rebel against the evil federal government who was holding down their organization and oppressing them when they said that they do not acknowledge the federal government. They don't acknowledge the United States as a whole, but they're going to use every single one of their rights during that time, when I believe if you do not acknowledge the government as being an entity that you should defend or respect, then we should go ahead and take your citizenship away and treat you like we would treat any other terrorist that decides to come and attack the great country that is USA. We should lock you up into some nice little building and leave you to rot. If the Geneva Convention would do it, hey, Guantanamo Bay is still open. Let's drop them off over there and let them just sit there and enjoy their lack of citizenship or lack of rights. I believe that you cannot not respect the thing that you would want to use at any given time. You cannot sit there at one point in time and say that you hate this country that you're in and blah 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 and whatever else, and then when shit hits the fan, you deserve to holler, I'm a citizen, I have rights, and you can't mistreat me. Well, when you stand there and you publicly badmouth the government, why should the government help you out? Just like when you were a kid and you decided to yell at your parents might have forgiven you after a while, but it wasn't, you were treated as if you were a wrongdoer. You were not gently tapped and gone or hand swapped and said, oh, it doesn't matter. Your parents actually gave you some kind of punishment to fit what you did. And you could have complained, you probably did complain, but you understood that that punishment actually helped you from doing stupid stuff. But these lovely guys, it seems like they're not going to have anything that guys and girls are going to have nothing done to them. And the reason you come to protest was for a group of farmers who were, as you say, wrongfully being persecuted, and the people that you came to protest for have constantly in the media said that they didn't want you there and that y'all should leave because you were making stuff even worse. The city that you decided to occupy held countless town meetings about how they did not want you there. During one of their last meetings, they actually had the police to escort out your leader, and yet you still stayed. When no one wants you there, you decided to stay because you believe your fight was that important. When no one that is the reason for your fight wants you there, needs you there, but you decide, I'm going to occupy this place. I'm not going to plan correctly for my occupation of this territory, but I'm doing the right fight. If you look at any of the times when a country has been occupied by a rebel force, or the rebel force has been wanting to occupy an area, someone wanted them to be there. It wasn't this rebel group just took over this area and everything that's around that area is telling you to get the hell out of this area. Even the people inside the area is telling you to get the hell out, and you decide to stay. That is the dumbest thing ever. And I just read this great thing on Facebook about black explaining the feelings of African Americans in the United States at this current moment, and how countless things from over these last few years has constantly created this boiling point where more and more African Americans are feeling like there is no justice if anything that we do goes to a law enforcement situation, where now it seems like if you disagree with the government, or you disagree with anyone, or you disagree, let's say, with some policy that is now being enforced, and you go and unarmed protest, and you go and do a march, you may be shot and killed, pepper sprayed, beaten, and you could just be protesting the the legalization of marijuana, let's say, and you could be just a peaceful march down the street, and before you can even meet the end part of your protest, half your people could be bludgeoned, pepper sprayed, beaten, and just because you're walking down the street protesting how you believe you should be able to get high for free, for legally, and not not do any jail time for it or whatever. But then a group of people could be armed and could threaten to kill everyone, and they would never be met with any kind of force at all. So I'm going to leave a link to the discussion that this guy, whose name is I'm going to leave a link in below for the comments so everyone can read what Julian Long said about black explaining. And like I always say, if you enjoy what I talk about, hit it with a thumbs up, hit a comment below, and remember, enjoy life.